Let's discuss all this with my guest. I'm glad to introduce my guest, Kateryna Odarchenko, political scientist. So, pleasure to have you with us, Kateryna.
Thank you for inviting me. Good to see you again.
Yeah, yes. Good to see you again. Yeah, and I hope you will help me and our audience understand better what is happening around the issue of American aid to Ukraine. Okay?
We'll try.
Yeah. So my first question: the Republicans announced to the White House a list of demands they would support to assist Kyiv. Is this a matter of political bargaining, or are they not sufficiently informed about how important it is to help Ukraine now?
Look, it's two issues. So we must understand that American budget process is the same budget process as in every country. So it's always make place for people who want to have additional money for their own districts. Some people want to have more money for their, work or support or subsidies of, for example, manufacturing of their districts or for some separate economic sectors. So part of politicians try to use Ukrainian question and question of any international aid to have more benefits in their own questions. So it's the same issue as in every country. Second issue that some politicians said that let's separate Ukrainian aid and Israeli aid, which not very good solution for Ukraine, but still they want to vote all points separately. And of course, Democrats try to give this vote in package, because one more time, all supplemental aid, it's also not one bill, it's separate bills. So it's hard discussion, and we know that in United States they also have some appropriation committee, so it's committee who try to stabilize and count all these positions and make it happen. But it will be tough months because nobody don't want to move United States to shut down. And all political parties tried also to get the political benefits on this discussion. So, for example, a question of on American elections from Republicans that we will cut off all spending, that no more spending, we must cut off spending. So one more time, I'm talking about this as political message, which they use. And Democrats, of course, said, no, more question of foreign affairs, that let's stop Putin now, because otherwise we will see how China will go to Taiwan and so on and so forth. And also, base of Republicans understand this aid in the wrong way. So some people don't understand that this money not directly go to Ukraine as a money, as a bags of money. Mostly of this money originally go to American economy, for example, to some production in defense sector, to contractors in the United States. So originally it's also work and workplaces and budget for Americans. So, and I see on last hearings in Senate that they try not to change this perception. Some people try not to change this perception, but, speculate on this perception of their base, of their basic voter, to, get more political benefits, because one more time, less than 1 year, they will have elections of president, and obviously Ukrainian question became political question of the next election campaign, of this election campaign.
Yes. It's understandable when you are just explained that sometimes we can hear that the support and aid to Ukraine, it's united with the aid to Israel and one issue. But how would you explain why aid to Ukraine is linked to an internal issue, the situation on the border with Mexico? It's very strange. It sounds very strange.
It's one more time political messages. You know how create political messages. So politicians have focus groups. It's some type of sociological research. And people said that, oh, you know, what is our problem? Our problem is inflation. Our problem is high interest rates for mortgage, like for buy houses. And it's migration problem. And politicians get this, position from society and use these messages to, have feedback from voters. One more time, it's happened in every not authoritarian countries the same. So politics. That's why they have message that why we put money for somewhere else and which you don't understand, like it's another continent, and not use this money for domestic issues. And the most vulnerable people, also people who, for example, previously work on in mining, for example, and they lose their jobs because it's no more mining. I mean, coal mining, for example, here in Pennsylvania, where I'm located. So they try to find why these problems exist, and a simple message that let's take this money to solve domestic problems. It's message which understandable for these voters. One more time, I think it's not enough educational work because one more time, mostly of this aid money, they not go directly to Ukraine as the money. They go to United States economy originally, which like help Ukraine, for example, with supplies of some armors.
Yes. And what is the essence, if we are talking about domestic issue, migration policy, what is the essence of different visions of this problem migration policy between Democrats and Republicans?
Look, it's a question which actual for more than 20 years. So it's not a new question. And as you see, nowadays with more polarization between Republicans and Democrats and more polarized also candidates for president, so it became not central right and central left. It became more right and more left, So that's why this discussion became, more hot discussion. But it's not new issue. And last 20 years in every election, it's an issue what to do with illegal migration. And as you see, also Republicans connect issue with migration with issue of crime, which not also direct correlated. But they said that, if it's illegal migration, it's obviously crime. And then they connect drug abusing and some addictions also with issue of migration, which not directly true, obviously, but it's work as political message. And so now it's this solution slowly going. And Mallorca, who like in Biden administration work on this issue here, very clearly told how they do reform on asylum process, how they give additional support for border control, additional funding for immigration service. So it's originally worked, but America is a huge country, and obviously reforms can be done by 1 month. So it's political question, and for basic voter, it's like very easy. So why you must support something which you don't understand, support some which you understand. You want to fight crime, like vote for us, we will fight the crime. But Putin do more crime worldwide, and it's not only about Ukraine. He do the same with Hamas in Israel because he support Hamas here. He work with Iran, who also support terrorist group here, support dictators in Africa. So it's pretty international issue, And one more time, we as all Ukrainians and as media also need to work with base. So with American voters who must, understand this issue and then support politicians, who show that it's not question of Ukrainians, it's question of Americans as leadership nation, in democracy building.
Yeah, and thank you very much, Kateryna, for this conversation, very insightful.